What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and the first thing I want to do, guys, is apologize for not putting up a video yesterday, and that's because I had a video planned, but unfortunately, we didn't have the correct guild raid in order for me to do that video. So today, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing the best shredders for Guild Raid Rugal, and you're going to need Poison and Bleed for Guild Raid Rugal. Now, two of these characters are going to be BS characters, which you can actually get from your selector, but do keep in mind with any of these four characters that I'm going to show you, you do need your 3 PGs in order to make this work. All right, we're going to be using a free-to-play card set on every one of these characters. So Angel is definitely one of them, right? Major waifu. Guinness, a BS character that you can actually get from the selector, and Zero, who's also very, very good for this, and probably, in fact, arguably the best when it comes to just shredding. And then the last one's going to be Lady Choi. So let me show you guys how to play these characters and the way you want to set them up. Now, I'm going to be using this team composition just like I showed you guys before. We're going to use Kusanagi as a damage support. We're going to have our shredder in the middle, and then I'm just going to use Rugal as the main damage dealer. Now, for Angel, guys, you want to be using Hydern as a striker because he applies bleed to all enemies on the screen. No matter where they're on the screen, he's going to apply that bleed, and those are really the best strikers when it comes to applying any kind of dot to your opponents. Now on Hell, the way that you want to play her is because she has poison explosion, you don't want to remove the poison explosion. She does have bleed, by the way, built into her kit in her core, but it doesn't last very long. That's why having a striker with bleed would actually be better. By the way, this character can solo guild raid, no problem. She does have a shield. In fact, so can Lady Choi, right? And so can Zero. Like, all those characters can absolutely do it, but I'm just going to be using that as shredders today because there's just other characters that are going to be stronger than them. Now, I mean, Angel and Lady Choi are still extremely strong because they're EX characters, but in Guinness's case and Zero's case, you know, both being BS characters that you can actually choose from selector, they're really going to be used more as shredders. You can use them as damage dealers, but they're going to be more used as shredders. So when it comes to playing Angel, you can do it two different ways. You can go 3-2-1, apply the hyper armor first from the third skill, the second skill apply the poison, and the one just tap it once so you don't do your dot explosion. If you tap it twice, you do the dot explosion. Or you could go 3-1, tap the one skill twice and do the second skill last, right? So 3-1-2, 3-1-1-2 is actually how it would be. And this would actually be better because you're actually going to build up a little bit more PG because you're going to be throwing in an extra skill. And we're going to be throwing in the Serena set. This is a set that we're going to be using on all the characters. And you do want to make sure that you have the 3 PG equipped on every single one of them, right? So let's jump into action and see how this goes. All right. So again, we're going to go 3-1-1-2. And there we go, right? We applied the poison at the end. I didn't bring in my striker just yet. And we're going to go 3-2-1 again, or 3-1-2 is actually what I want to do. Okay? And we want to apply our bleed. We're going to bring in Kusanagi, right? And then we're just going to bring in Rugal. And then we can go into our skills. And that's pretty much how you want to break the meter whenever you're using Angel, right? That's pretty much what you want to be doing with the character in order to get it done, okay? So we'll go ahead and switch to another character after this here. We're going to go ahead and switch to Lady Choi, right? To get it done, my friends. Okay, and Lady Choi is actually extremely easy to use regarding Guild Raid. Now, the thing about Lady Choi and Angel is both of them arrived in the exact same banner. Big waifu banner, if I ever did see one. So let me find Lady Choi. Okay, so slap her in there. All right, now when it comes to a striker for Lady Choi, she's actually got bleed in her kit. So we need a poison striker. Now you can actually use Angel as a striker for Lady Choi, but if you don't have Angel, you could easily go with Zhang Fei, who is a red balance. Let me go ahead and bring this up here. If you use Zhang Fei, right, she'll apply poison to all enemies on screen. So Zhang Fei and Hydern are really the two best strikers for this because they apply their dots to everybody on the screen. And this is just a level 90 Lady Choi. And I'll go ahead and slap on that Serena set for her. Again, we're going to use the same exact set for every one of these characters, okay? And the way that you want to play Lady Choi, because she does have bleed explosion, right? Like, she applies bleed from her first skill. She has the dot explosion on her second skill, and then her third skill has hyper armor. So you want to go 3-2-1 with her, okay? So we'll see how that goes. 3-2-1, and you don't want to apply the poison until after she does her 3 PG, just like we did with Angel with the bleed striker. Okay, so we'll kind of skip along here. Okay. And there we go, right? Luckily, her skills do reset from her core, which really, really helps. I mean, really, you don't even need a Serena on her, but it definitely makes your life a lot easier. So I'm just going to go 3, 2, 1, bring in Kusanagi, and then we're going to go break out Rugal here, and then boom, right? And you saw how easy it was, guys, to go ahead and break that meter. No problem. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Piece of cake, right? And you just do that every single time. Again, Lady Choi and Angel, both EX characters, they can just destroy this thing on their own. They really don't need to be just shredders. They can absolutely murder this thing. So now we get into the more free-to-play characters that you can actually choose from that BS selector that we just recently got from the login. And this is where it gets pretty interesting as far as the characters that you can use. So we got our Poison Striker already equipped. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and find our boy Guinness, right? Now, Guinness is actually pretty freaking nuts for this for a couple reasons. One, he does a lot of hits, guys. He breaks bars or breaks meters very, very quick, which is nice. And something that's really nice about him is that whenever he does do shock, he has a 70% chance to reset his active skills. This is actually really, really awesome for this method because all you're really trying to do is apply bleed and then go into your 3PGs, just like we did with our other characters, right? So again, I'll equip the Serena, I'll throw on a 3PG, and what we're going to do is we're going to equip a card that will apply shock in the Shermie option card. As long as I can find the card wherever it is at, I always skip along these things. There it is right there, right? And once you equip this baby right here, he'll actually apply shock damage, and the chances of you resetting your skills are very, very good. Guinness doesn't have dot explosion, so all you really have to do is make sure that you do apply hyper armor first, his second skill, and then just go into his 3-1 or 1-3, whichever it may be, right? And all we want to do is apply bleed, go into our 3PG. After we do our 3PG, then bring in our Poison Striker and apply bleed again from Guinness. He's actually really awesome for this. And as you guys can see, we did reset our skills from applying shock damage, which is nice, right? And now I'm going to apply bleed again and then apply our Poison Striker. And as you guys see, he breaks meters very, very well. Pretty damn nutty, man. He's actually quite nuts. And he also has a shield in his kit to have that extra survivability, which is also really, really good, right? You know, both Guinness and Zero are actually really, really amazing for this game mode. By the way, for those of you that are wondering, the reason I'm not doing Rugal's 3PG right away is because he does apply bleed. We'd actually break the meter even faster. So in this situation, I'm just doing it the way that I'm doing it. So now let me throw in someone else, right? Let's throw in another BS character in Zero, who's actually freaking nuts. Level 10. By the way, guys, all these characters, Guinness, he could be level 90 and do what he just did. Zero, he could be level 90 and do what he just did. Like these, when you're trying to break the meters, all you're really trying to do is apply the correct dots and then be able to do a lot of hits. That's all you're really worried about. Now in Zero's case, it's a different world because this guy actually has bleed and poison in his kit. He has both of them and he doesn't have dot explosion, so he doesn't remove anything. He is actually freaking insane. He's almost too good because he can break meters so fast, and both his default and his 3PG have long animations. And whenever you're picking up a striker for this guy, really guys, you just want to have a striker that gives him whatever, increase attack, decrease skill cooldown, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Any of these characters would be just fine. I mean, you want to put Zero in himself here to acquire that power. That'd actually be really good as well, because really all I'm trying to do is just do my 3PG. That's all I want to do. I want to do that 3PG as fast as possible, and Zero can actually reset his skills from his core, which is also really, really good for building your 3PG and doing your 3PG animation. All right, so let's do it. So do 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and then we do our 3PG, right? We'll do 3, 2, 1. We'll already have bleed and poison applied, and then we can bring in Kusanagi. Okay. Like I said, guys, it don't take long, man. It don't take long to break that meter with Zero. He is so good for this, man, is he awesome. So, like, for those of you that are, you're trying to figure out, maybe which character to use for that selector, I mean, Guinness and Zero are both amazing. I would give the edge to Zero, though, to be perfectly honest, guys. But, I mean, they both can work really, really well. If you're using Guinness, then you're going to need Zhongfei as a striker. If you're using Zero, then you really don't need any specific striker at all, right? You could just use the regular Zero and build up your PG. Like, they're both amazing. And just like I did with the video for the shredders for Nightmare Geese, I did exclude a lot of really great collaboration characters. Chun-Li, Nostalgia Chun-Li, Bison, obviously. I mean, they're freaking nuts, guys. But those characters are just not, they're not always available in the game. They're only available during collaborations. So that's why I excluded them, right? The characters that I'm showing you are always going to be available in the game. And Zero and Guinness here are really two of the best shredders in the game for Guild Raid Rugal, but obviously if you're playing with waifu here or Lady Choi waifu, then they're going to get it done for you as well. So guys, let me know how y'all doing in the game, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GD+7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody.